Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Here will be my last part of the Circuit Overseer of the series that I did when the Circuit Overseer visited a local Kingdom Hall. This part really got to me and destroyed part of my heart. It's talking about how much love and respect and obey the law of the land. Is this really true in Jehovah's Witnesses teaching? Well, I can honestly say when I was in it, I did not see none of this. I'm out and my eyes are more open and I can see how dangerous what I was in. Not knowing that I was in a dangerous cult. People think the word cult means you're drinking blood or you are sacrificing, killing people, which truthfully, Watchtower's teaching, they do have blood sacrifice, because when the members is bleeding from a car accident or anything, they let them die on the operating table or anywhere and not let them take blood. They are killing the members, and that's almost like a dangerous cult. I'm going to let you hear this guy talking, and I'm going to show you some pictures. And anybody wants to leave a comment and tell me, this is God's organization allowing people to carry their God named Jehovah around and making people believe that this is God's organization. Then tell me why there is so much wickedness in Jehovah's Witnesses organization when you can hear it all over the news, newspaper, the media, YouTube, Australia court on J-A-K-K-E control, all about the pedophiles in Jehovah's Witnesses congregation in their country. And you got this Jeffrey Jackson in court under oath swearing on their Bible. You got to watch his words and listen to this ignorance that comes out of his mouth. Is Christ there with him when he speaks? Is it Christ's words coming out of his mouth? Or is it his own words protecting his ass? Protecting Watchtower's ass? So I'm going to play this and then you tell me, is this God's organization or is this Satan's organization? That's all I want to know. Is this God's organization or Satan's organization?
That Jehovah encourages us to do, not just in marriage, but in life. He wants us to speak truth. He wants us to exercise self-control, be industrious, display kindness, be peaceable with all men, avoid prejudice and hatred, be respectful, and even show a mild and obedient spirit to the governmental authorities wherever we live in this earth. If we do those things, there's no danger that we'll ever develop an undesirable trait. If we follow Jehovah's counsel, remember it's based on love. Jehovah's ways are based on love. If we put those into practice, it's always going to help us in our life. Now, to do this, if we're going to really walk in God's ways, we have to get to know Jehovah as a person. He invites us to do that. Let's look at an example of a man who did that. Go to Psalm 73. You'll notice when you get to Psalm 73, before the first verse, there's a little, it's called a superscription that describes what this is. It says a melody of Asaph. Asaph, he was a Levite musician, and the time in which he lived, people really were not nice, not kind to each other. In fact, notice just a couple verses. This is the kind of people he was around. In verse 3, there was wickedness. There were people who were arrogant, it says. You skip down to verse 6, haughtiness and violence. Verse 8, there was oppression or injustice in his time. Look down at verse 11. Apathy towards God existed in his time. Does all that sound kind of familiar? Doesn't that sound like our time? So Asaph, he considered this. He looked at the way people were around him, and at first he was discouraged. But then he decided, I'm going to focus on something else. Look at what he focused on in the last verse of chapter 73. But as for me, drawing near to God is good for me. I have made the sovereign Lord Jehovah my refuge to declare all your works. You notice the better thing that he focused on was drawing near to God. It's true, he had this whole environment around him, and he could have just kept looking at that and focusing on that and being discouraged by that. But he chose something better, something more productive. He decided, I'm going to draw near to God. And you notice the way he phrased it, drawing near. That's a process. That's not a one-time event. But he chose to use his life in a way to get closer and closer and closer to his Father Jehovah. That's something that Jesus talked about too. Look in John chapter 17, verse 3. Very famous verse. John 17:3 says, this means everlasting life. They're coming to know you, the only true God, and the one whom you sent, Jesus Christ. So there's that same thought.
They are coming to you, the only true God. Well, we have a problem. The only true God is the one that is not using a name Jehovah. The God I know will not have his people to be like him and hurt a woman like her. Could have been his wife, another Jehovah Witness that he knew in the congregation. Where was the love? And matter of fact, what about the saying down there? Don't hate him. He's just a human. He had problems in his life. So respect him. Forgive him. Yeah. And whose saying is that? The wisdom of the Watchtower. Does any church agree with this? Agree that it's okay to make a woman so beautiful to look like that by this man? or a man like him that deliberately took innocent children and used them as a sex toy, a play toy, to fondle and to have sex intercourse with him? And this guy, they got him so much that he had over 14 years possession of 24,000 naked pictures of children, and he was a Jehovah Witness. Please, people, tell me, is this God's organization, or this organization belong to Satan the devil? Now, if you say Jehovah Witnesses is the true religion, you are no better than this man, this man, this man, but you could end up as a victim of this woman or your children. So it's your choice to pick out which one is true or lie in your organization. Who's telling the truth or lie or your organization? Your governing body hiding the truth, or us as Jehovah's Witnesses bringing the real truth about the truth? How your governing body is protecting all these evil men. People, it's time to stand up, to fight for what is right, and stop protecting the guilty. He's the guilty. She's the victim. Jehovah's Witness, Jehovah's Witness. Come on, people. The victim is the one getting hurt. And your court system of your elders, judicial committee, is protecting people like him. Protecting an elder like him. Protecting an elder like him. Now, I don't know if he's an elder or not, but those other pictures I show was an elder. People, tell me again, I don't understand. Is this God's organization when there's so much hatred, no love, no compassion, and no calling the police and tell them that we have a murderer, we have a pedophile, we have a man beating his wife, beating his kids? Where is the justice for the innocent? That's all I got to say. Where is the justice for the innocent? If you're protecting your governing body, you're protecting your religion, you're protecting these men. Think about it.